The line between killer and hero is thinner than you think. You're listening to Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski, featuring retired FBI special agent and chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program, Robin Dreeke.
Matthew Perry, of course, the beloved star of Friends, passing away last October 28th of 2023 from an accidental overdose involving ketamine in his Pacific Palisades home in California. Now, 5 people have been arrested in connection with that, including several doctors, his assistant, and a woman known as the Ketamine Queen, the alleged dealer who supplied ketamine to Perry through the intermediaries. Lots of people pleading on this. There may be some trials. We've yet to see all of that, but it certainly really opens up the floodgates and I think our eyes to the dark world of prescription medication, and some of this not even prescription. Robin Dreeke, retired FBI special agent, chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program, joining me to discuss. Obviously, there's a lot of tension on this. He's a celebrity. Maybe they did more in the investigation because of that, but I could see it being for a good cause of, okay, this will get more attention and more awareness to the problem that we have going on out there right now. What are your thoughts?
There's a special place in my heart for people that are openly struggling with addiction, and which Perry was. Yeah, you know, he was transparent with it as much as he could be, which takes a hell of a lot of bravery and courage to do that for anyone going through any kind of struggles like that. It's the bravest thing you can do is to be transparent that I have a problem and seek help. Unfortunately for him, he's surrounded by people that weren't actually trying to help him.
Yeah,
they're trying to help themselves more. The heartening part of this, and you're hinting at it, is I was extremely pleasantly surprised that we have arrests and 5. I think people hopefully out there have learned from the Michael Jackson case. That took a while and it was a painful while to, get some arrests, or at least one on that one.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have 5 here, it makes me think that maybe they're looking at some of these people before this case even cracked and even broke, because it was 5 is a lot to get going. So good, and mostly good from not just these 5 people that helped him along to his horrible death, but just more attention on the prescription drug issue, and hopefully an inspiration to people to come forward and just seek help. Shame is horrible. When we have shame, when we're afraid to show it, it helps us down our own dark roads. But the one thing that we see when on our show here and in life in general, everyone is struggling with something. I have a friend of mine that I worked with years ago in the Marine Corps, and he was one of my drill instructors way back in the day, about 30 years ago. And he just came out on social media and said, "I'm so sorry I've been silent for the last couple of days. I've been struggling, and I'm sharing with you all today. I'm an alcoholic. And here's what I've been through. Here's what I'm working on. And I just pray for your help. I'm doing good. I got this." I have never seen such an outpouring of love and support, and not just love and support of "you got this" and encouragement, but at least 1/3 of the people saying, "Me too." So cases like, the tragic cases like Perry say to me, is like, hey, if you are struggling, there's people out there you can touch with and that are not trying to take advantage of you. And that's the big thing. Seek out healthy people in your life that will be your loving critics, that are going to be there to support and love, but at the same time, slap you upside the head if you fall off.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people living this life in the shadows and not talking about it publicly.
Yeah,
that could be a support system right under your nose, and you may not even know it until you're able to say that out loud. This was very disturbing because it seemed like Matthew Perry was on a path to recovery, to getting help, and trying to find a way. And there's 2 doctors here that are involved, where if you're working with somebody and maybe you convince yourself, well, these are doctors, so they're not going to get me things that are going to be dangerous because they know my situation. They know just what kind of an addict I am and how easy it is for me to fall into those traps. These doctors are sitting there texting back and forth what an idiot Matthew Perry is. And then on top of all of that, the price gouging was also kind of insane too. What he was paying for this ketamine, which was about like $12 retail. He was paying like thousands of dollars for it because it's Matthew Perry, and they knew that they could get it out of him. These people clearly did not have his best interest in mind. They just wanted to get his money and would give him whatever he wanted.
Thank God for these investigators on this one.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, it's, you know, again, they're just charged innocent until proven guilty, but good job. Really good job.
You got to guess that Matthew Perry is not their only client. And that, you know, so who else has died that didn't have the notoriety of Matthew Perry? Who else is in a horrible state of addiction? Who else is suffering because of the profit-hungry drug dealers here that were kind of masquerading as something more on the up and up?
And that's why I was also kind of pleasantly surprised at the speed of this one. So there's a couple, you and I cover so many different kinds of cases, and the cases that generally take a long time, this case, the Diddy case, the Soto case, anytime you're dealing with someone in something that's dealing with drugs and or human trafficking in any way, big tendrils. These are huge networks that takes a long time to uncover. If you're going to get to the root core of the evil at the core of it, it takes a while to figure that out because there's so many layers that you got to go through. And it looks like they moved really quickly on this one. So like you said, I don't think Perry was their only client. Yeah. So they had some leads on this one, maybe ahead of time that, and let's hope they take down even a larger network. Yeah, because it lies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously this took roughly about a year for them to get this far, which is quick in terms of this sort of a situation.
That to me is quick. Yeah, isn't that sad? But yeah,
it is. But it wasn't just okay, your assistant was getting it for you. Case closed. We're going to charge your assistant. No, they dug deeper. They found the ketamine queen. They found these doctors, and who knows what else is behind the curtain. And hopefully this stops someone else from being in the same situation that he was in, because these people have been taken down. Who knows? You know, when people are in addiction, they'll find another source for it. But hopefully this opens up the eyes of individuals too. If they know someone in their family or a loved one, a friend who may be turning to ketamine, and they're, I think I don't know enough about it, but I know if taken in a reasonable smaller dose, some people have found a lot of relief from it, with it, from, you know, anxiety, depression, things of that nature. It's something that needs, I think, a little more research. But not everybody's going to follow the use as directed rule on this. And clearly, Perry was not, or at least he was not given correct directive on how to use it.
But I'm really hopeful on this case too, with 5 people that are under arrest for this, that you're going to see at least 1 or 2 that have a greater knowledge, strike some sort of plea for a reduced sentence or something, so we can actually get a greater understanding of the network that's involved, the clients that are involved, and either both take down more bad guys and save more lives. Because again, the likelihood of Perry being the only client, slim to none.
You're in the thick of a true crime saga, every detail sinking in, and then, wham, a commercial about something you couldn't care less about. It's like being served a microwaved dinner at a 5-star restaurant. But it doesn't have to be this way. Go for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. With True Crime Today Premium Plus, you get uninterrupted, ad-free episodes, extended interviews that dig even deeper into the muck, and early access so you can brag to your friends. It's like ordering the secret menu at a crime buffet. So, search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, and savor every twisted detail without interruption.